Hello, sorting.
Welcome back. I'm your host, Dainty. It's strange how music knows where to find us. You know, how one song can reach into the noise of everyday life and pull out a memory we might not even know we were holding. It also has a way of stitching time together. One verse carrying us back to who we were, another perhaps reminding us who we have become. And maybe that's why we keep coming back to certain songs, not because they've changed, but because we have, and somehow they still understand. So wherever you are, settle in. Let's remember, not perfectly, but honestly, If There Is Any Justice by Lamar is a deeply emotional cry from someone who believes that the person they love should be with them but isn't. The lyrics carry that ache of, it should have been me, but it's not out of arrogance, but from the raw belief that love just isn't fair sometimes. Lamar sings about loving someone who's already with someone else, and that pain of watching them give their heart to the wrong person. He doesn't wish them harm. Instead, he's pleading with fate. If there's any justice in the world, then one day that love will find its way back to him. I think by now you will agree with me when I say sometimes a song isn't just a melody, but a whole season of your life wrapped in 4 minutes. That's if you can still get 4 minutes these days. Anyways, let me share Eneme's memory on this one. Eneme listened to that song a lot back in law school, as he shared with me. He remembers those long walks from class to his hostel, files in hand, brain fried from all the case law and statutes. He said the sun will be deep in the earth thick with that mix of exhaustion and ambition. Yeah, some of you know that feeling. I do. You know, when your head is heavy with everything you're supposed to become, and yet your heart just wants to rest somewhere softer. And one of those days, Lamar's voice came into his ears, aching and honest. It felt like he was singing Eneme's own thoughts out loud, the kind that made you close your eyes for a few seconds longer than you should while working. Every time he played, it took him far away from the stress of studying, away from all the "what if I don't make it" thoughts. Instead, it carried him somewhere peaceful, a little daydream world where there was no law, no deadlines, no grades. You wish. Just him and this girl he was absolutely crazy about. She probably never even knew how much space she took up in his mind back then, but in those quiet moments, with his earphones in and Lamar's voice pouring through, it was like he could imagine it all. Him serenading her laughing shyly, maybe telling him to stop because people were watching. Of course, he probably wouldn't stop. I digress. There was something comforting about that fantasy, about believing that if there was any justice in the world, maybe one day she would see him the way he saw her. Maybe life would slow down long enough for that kind of love to happen. Funny thing is, law school taught him all about justice, the rules, the systems, the arguments, but the song reminded him that justice doesn't always play out in real life. Sometimes the people who deserve our hearts don't get them. Sometimes timing wins the case against us. Still, he thinks about those walks sometimes, the smell of the evening air, the sound of his footsteps echoing against the hostel walls, and Lamar's voice singing him through another long day. For him, that song was an escape. It was hope. It was a reminder that even in the middle of chaos, your heart can still find somewhere to rest. It is good to dream, isn't it? Maybe that's the beauty of certain songs. You know, they meet us in the middle of our becoming, when we're tired, uncertain, trying to hold it all together. They whisper what we don't have words for. They give shape to emotions we're too busy, too guarded, or too scared to name. For Eneme, If There's Any Justice in the World was not a love song, or was not just a love song, but also a place where he could rest his mind after the long stretch of responsibility, where dreams still felt possible and love could exist without logic or timing getting in the way. I mean, we all have a version of that song, the one that helps us when life demands too much, the one that knew us before we knew ourselves. I do. And that's where our true selves hide. I'm telling you, not in the textbooks or the plans or the titles we chase, but in the quiet spaces where music finds us. Because maybe justice, debatable in its gentlest form, isn't about right or wrong, winning or losing. Remember, I said debatable. Maybe it's about those fleeting moments of balance when a song levels the scale between who we are and who we wish we could be. When for a few minutes the world softens just enough for us to breathe again. So tell me, what song takes you there? What melody carried you through a time when life did not go your way, or when love just would not meet you halfway? Let me know. And if you haven't already, go listen to If There Is Any Justice by Lamar. Feel it. Feel it. Let a song take you somewhere softer. Slip into that dream world and let yourself imagine the impossible. When I listened to the song after Intimate shared with me, the song reminded me of Ordinary People by John Legend, a honest reflection about imperfect timing and imperfect love. And that's it. Thanks for being here. Until next time, trust that life keeps its own balance and that the love written for you won't lose its way.
Thanks for rewinding with us. If a song unlocked something in you, follow the show, pass it along. And if you've got a moment worth remembering, share it at reminchords@gmail.com. The next memory we play just might be yours.